All right, gentlemen. So for part one of your project or of your playlist, what you're going to be doing is um, you're really going to focus your attention on conservation and momentum. So the whole idea of this playlist is that you're kind of building on stuff that we've already gone over, but instead of simply, um, quantifying it or showing how you can solve or use formulas, you're going to actually show it. Okay, so you're going to physically be showing different ways or providing evidence that the different things that we've talked about in class are real. And you're going to include measurements on your own to show this, which means you're going to have to use your video physics app. So if you don't have that, or if you were one of those people that decided, hey, I'm just going to erase this because it's taking up too much space, you know who you are, you're going to want to get that back. So you definitely need the video physics app. All right, because that's going to be doing all the measuring for you. In addition to that, you're going to need just a tennis ball and either a soccer ball or a basketball. Ideally, a basketball is probably the way to go. But if you don't have one, obviously, I would assume you guys have a soccer ball. So two parts to this, or I should say two, a couple parts to this. The first thing you're going to do is simply lay your soccer ball or basketball on the ground. And from a height of 2 meters, you're going to take your tennis ball and you're simply going to drop it onto the basketball. Now, the issue here, I shouldn't say issue, but one thing you're going to need to focus on or remember is that you need to be filming this. So I'm going to say a 2 meter height, 2 meter drop. And as you film it, remember when we use our video physics app, we want to make sure that the camera's not moving. You don't move it with the ball. As the ball is moving from one place to another, you keep it still. But I want you to measure the mass and then measure the momentum of both of these balls. So obviously with the first time you do it, the soccer ball or basketball won't be moving. All right, so that makes that one easy, but the tennis ball will. So at a height of 2 meters, you're going to drop that down. And then what I want you to do is you're going to measure the momentum as it's going down. And then you're going to get the momentum as it bounces away from the bigger soccer ball or basketball. Okay, so you're going to be comparing these two different things. Most likely what will happen is that tennis ball drops, that's going to bounce away, and it might cause a little bit of movement on the soccer ball or basketball, but very little. So basically you want to be comparing, all right, what was the momentum of the tennis ball before it collided with the other ball and then after. So that would be your part one of the conservation of momentum part. The second thing you're going to do is also from 2 meters. Okay, so 2 meters is essentially, it's like 6.5 feet, maybe even a little less, like 6'5". It's basically my height and then add like a hair or two. What you're going to do next is I want you to actually have these two things together to start. Okay. And then you're going to drop them together with one thing on top of the other. So as they fall, you'll see even more of a change in terms of its momentum. So again, we'll start here, and then down they go, down they go, down they go, and then that one will take off. So again, we want to be measuring both the momentum of the tennis ball, this guy, and the momentum of your soccer ball or basketball. If you struggle with this, what I would highly recommend is that you basically would analyze the same video twice. And what I mean is you would focus your attention, because if you remember, when you analyze these videos with the video physics app, you'll need to put little points on one item to really measure its speed and time and all that good stuff. Well, with this, it's the same idea. So you're going to want to just focus on the tennis ball with one video, the before and the after, and then the soccer ball or basketball before and then after. Okay. Now, as you plot all your points, what you're going to be trying to come up with is an answer or a claim to support the law of conservation of momentum. It's up to you how to do that. So that's where the freedom of this kind of comes in. So what's mandatory is that you film these two different things. You provide the video and the graphs to show me that you did this. And then the final piece of this is, all right, well, now you have all this evidence. support the law. Conservation of momentum. That's going to be your first part.